What's going on, y'all? Hope y'all watched my first video, my first submission, where I went over my thoughts, my process, and my results. I gymmed about 4% on that submission, and I net about $1,100 to $1,200 on that submission, so I'm reinvesting it all back into the business. I know PSA shut down right now, but this is what I'm looking to buy. I think there are a lot of good opportunities in this market right now, where a lot of people want to sell their raw cards, especially with the value bulk tier being shut down for now. So there's a lot of good gradable cards on the market right now, and I'm trying to take advantage of that as much as possible. So let's get into it and see what I'm buying. The first pickup I had was this Mike Trout Red Pandora Optic BGS 8.5. As y'all can tell, Mike Trout's stuff I think is undervalued, but he's a very good player, future Hall of Famer, first ballot, no doubt. And numbered at a 99 red color match. His stuff in Topps Chrome and Bowman, the red parallels are out of 5, so those are very pricey, unaffordable for most collectors. So a red color match for Mike Trout for $11, I'll take it. Next, we have the Trout Gold Refractor out of Pristine. Once again, same logic. Gold Refractor in flagship sets are very expensive. To pick up a Gold Refractor Trout for under $30, I think that's a really good buy. Should do pretty good in the 10. Same with Aroldis Chapman, $6 for this card right here. Bowman Chrome or Bowman's Best Gold Refractor, early days on the Reds. Chapman just set the all-time reliever strikeout record, over 1,300 strikeouts. One of the best closers of all time, if not the best. Yeah, and his market really doesn't really have a market, but you can tell kind of guys like Clayton Kershaw, when they get to towards the end of their career, or they retire and you know they're going to make the Hall of Fame, you see an uptick in their market. So I'm going to be buying some stuff like that. And there's other players that I'll discuss using that same principle and guideline later on in the cards that I'm showing y'all. But this might be a little bit longer term of a hold, but to pick this up for $6, I'm super happy with it. The next two, the pair of this, I got these on Collects. They're about $10 a piece. For Aaron Judge, y'all can tell that his rookie prices are going up tremendously. They're following the same Ohtani trend and trajectory. And as we can tell in the market, when players' rookie cards start to get unaffordable for most collectors, they look for the next best option. And that's probably his second year stuff, 2018 stuff. So I'm glad to pick these up for like $10 a pair. One good thing about these cards, they don't have borders around them, so the centering issues that you might see in like Topps Chrome 2025 should be avoided with these. Kind of the same logic right here with this pickup. Bryce Harper Bowman Chrome Prospects, about an $8 card, but does pretty well in a 10. Next is this Ohtani. Like I mentioned, I like sets that have very good centering. Looking at their gem rates, this set has a very good gem rate, very high gem rate. It is a paper card, but it's a very thick paper, kind of like a card stock. And as you can tell, Ohtani's market is crazy. There's no such thing as a bad Ohtani buy, as long as you're not grossly overpaying for it. So I'm really happy to pick up this Ohtani. The next pickup, same lines as Trout, Kershaw, the analogy I gave, maybe Chapman as well. Players for the end of their career. As you can tell, DeGrom 39, kind of slowing down, kind of a slower year for the Rangers this year. But I mean, he's just been so dominant over his career, such a good pitcher. And to pick up a gold wave refractor of him for $11, I'm happy to do that any day. I think it's a good pickup. You know, doesn't have the biggest market, but he won a World Series with the Rangers, so maybe that's what he's known for. That's why I picked up a Rangers card. A lot of his parallels on the Mets are non-existent, given that they came from like mid 2010s. So I'm always looking to pick up players like DeGrom. The next, wow, that's a good looking card. This Heart of the City Aaron Judge, about a $20 card. I mean, it has a very high upside in the 10. I think it's a very sleek card. In my opinion, these look better than home field advantages. And the Topps Chrome home field advantage of Aaron Judge, wow, they're like $400 raw or more. So to pick this up, it's about a $20 card. It's about the same purpose of home field advantage. You know, these were like base inserts in like 2023 or something. I can't remember. But yeah, these were just base inserts, but I think they're just such good looking cards, and you can tell the market has shifted towards that as well, because these are like $20 cards now, and they do very well in a 10, and the centering shouldn't be an issue as well, like I talked about, no borders. Next, I'm sticking with a lot of Aaron Judge. I picked this one up. It's from the new 2026 Panini Donruss Baseball, and I just think I got a very good deal on this, given his sales on this orange parallel at a 75 from previous years. You know, I'd seen sales, most were in the upper 50s, mid 60 range. I picked this up for $34. So, you know, it's unlicensed, but it is a numbered Aaron Judge insert. I think it's a cool looking card. A lot of people still like the bomb squads out of Panini. I think that's one good insert they have. So I think I got a pretty good deal on that. The next is a pair of these Alex Ovechkins. You know, I don't know too much about hockey. I follow hockey a lot, but I'm just thinking this is the all-time goal scorer in the NHL, and maybe these cards could be like the Topps All Aces set. This is kind of speculation, but you know, you see how sought after that All Aces Ohtani is, and if you want to say that he's the greatest player to play the sport, well then Ovechkin's the greatest goal scorer of all time, and maybe these see an uptick. These are like $10. I know some of these do like 120 and a 10, and you know that All Aces set gems really well. These look to gem really well as well, and you know the backs of these look pretty clean, pretty easy to be centered. Not too worried about surface issues with these, so I'm picking those up as well right now, just to see what they do. I'm expecting him to retire next year probably, so I might grade these soon and just have some Ovechkin on hand to sell. I think he's going to be very liquid as soon as he's done playing. And I picked this up as well, the Bedard, you know, big hype still I think for him. I think Celebrini and Schaefer have kind of overshadowed Bedard as well, but you know, I think I picked this up for like $2. So maybe worth a value bulk submission to throw in. See if it gets a 10, should be about $60-70 minimum for that card. So pick that up for like $2. I'll give it a try. Same logic with Ovechkin. You know, I just think hockey market is just so much different than a lot of other sports, but I think there's going to be a lot of buyers of Ovechkin as soon as he retires, given that he just broke the scoring record. So this is the red-orange spectrum of Allure out of $3.99. Just a cool color match. You know, it's got some good shine on it. I like the properties of this card. I've graded a few of these before, and they gem at like an 80% clip, so I thought it was a pretty low-risk card for you know, someone that I'm projecting to have a lot of good future term value. Same thing here with McDavid, you know, that orange color match. It's just such a good looking card. Not numbered, but it's like $4, and you know, if an orange bordered Connor McDavid, it just has such a good eye appeal that, you know, I might throw this in the next submission and take a risk on that. Obviously McDavid is one of the best, if not the best players right now. You might say McKinnon is or whoever, but you know, highly sought after. I think this would do pretty well in a 10, just given its eye appeal. I think this is more of a collector's card and not like an investment card. I think someone would just like to have this in their collection, so I think you can actually sell this for a pretty good premium if you get it in a 10, given that it has such a nice eye appeal. This Mike Trout right here, this is the rookie reprint, I believe it is from 2016. Yeah, 2016. I bought it for $2.97. You know, his rookie cards are like $150 raw, so this might be the next best option for a collector as soon as Trout retires. So this might be a longer term hold, but you know, I think for $3 this card was too cheap to let go. The next, I picked up this pair on collects for like $5. I really wanted that Manning refractor. I think it's pretty cool. I saw it did like 130 in a 10. I got the pair for like $5. So Brady and Manning chrome cards for $5. Glad to pick those up. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this Brady. I'll have to look at, see how clean it is. Maybe if it's a 10 candidate, I'll send it off as well. I'm sure it does like at least $80 in a 10. So, you know, two really good quarterbacks. Good pickups right there, I think, for $5. I bought big on Mike Trout. I didn't recall doing this, but yeah, you can see here's this bomb squad right here. The Rapture, I think, is what it's called. I just think, you know, $5 for this card it looks way too nice. This is the best Bomb Squad design in my opinion. I think it looks way too nice to not pick it up and see if his market upticks. So I guess I will say I'm stashing Mike Trout for now. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these Trouts. Maybe I'll sell them raw and they might appreciate a little bit in the future, but I think for now, you know, this card is just grossly undervalued. And here's another player that I just believe is grossly undervalued. This is a Freddie Freeman Gold Lava Refractor out of 75. I mean, he's like 36 years old or however old he is. He's getting up there and he's still producing. He's batting like 300 again this year, hitting pumps, and of course the Dodgers are always going to be a contender. So I picked up one of his Bone and Chrome Mojo Blue refractors, just a nice color match, and it sold for $90 in a tin. I think I picked that card up for like 11 bucks. This card I picked up for 12 and it's numbered to 75, so a gold refractor of Freddie Freeman. You know, if it gems, it has a very high premium just because he's a collectible player, sought after team, a lot of Dodgers fans out there. So, you know, one good thing about the Bowman's Best set, you might notice a trend of what I'm buying. I don't like buying cards that have a lot of stingy borders on them, and so there's unspecified borders on this card. So, you know, it makes it very easy for the grader to say it's centered. And that's one of the main factors of grading, is looking at the centering of a card. So I think this card has a very good chance of gemming if it's clean. Next, I bought this Lewis Hamilton Chrome Refractor, about $20 card raw. I sent an offer for $11 on it, got it. Don't really recommend lowballing. You know, I don't lowball too often. I like to pay strong and just to ensure I have the cards. But, you know, I just sent an offer because I don't know too much about F1. But, I mean, the margins on this card are ridiculous. You know, it's over $250 in a tin. And to pick this up for like $11, I'll gladly throw that in a value bulk submission. Once again, I don't really know about F1, but I do know who Lewis Hamilton is. So, yeah, I mean, you'll know, you can see this trend where I'm not buying cards that have those stingy borders on them. You know, this looks very clean to say that it's centered. You know, I think they're going off of maybe the top's chrome or the image, how centered that helmet is in front. And, you know, it just looks like you're avoiding those corners that, or borders that tend to get people tricked up on. This, I think, is a snipe. I picked this up at an antique store actually for $3, and this is actually a very short printed card. It's the Barry Bonds Prism Fireworks. I'm sure if you rip Prism football, you know the fireworks inserts. This is the refractor. This is not the base. This is actually the silver fireworks, and I think I read online these are 1 in 48 packs. So I picked this up for like $3, and I saw them on eBay. A couple had sold for like 50. So, you know, Barry Bonds, greatest home run hitter of all time. I don't know what his market's gonna be like, but for a refractor Bonds for $3, might as well give it a shot. If anything, I can probably just relist it and flip it on eBay. These two I bought in a pair, Prism stained glass, once again unlicensed, but you know, Judge is highly sought after, and it's technically a case hit for retail. So, you know, to get this pair for I think like $35, and it was probably like $38 with shipping and everything. You know, this card alone is like $25. This hasn't surfaced. This is the Cosmic Haze, which was the retail exclusive, I believe. And at the time of recording, one was at consignment and did $25. So that's good to know that I got a good deal on the pair. You know, that should be at least $50 in value right here, and I underpaid. Got them for about 80%. I'll have to look and see how clean they are, but I know this is doing like 150 in a 10, and I'm sure Trout will do not as good, but very similar, probably at least 120 in that range. So, you know, if the pair gets a 10, that's about $300, give or take, in between. So, and you spend just under 40 on the cost, you know, if you go all in, you're probably at $80 to grade both of them, and then you can get 300 out of both of them. It seems like a pretty good investment right there. Another Trout. I'm very high on Trout right now. I think his stuff's underpriced, and I think he's going to see a big shift in his prices. This is the red hot foil, and once again, I talked about how his red stuff in Topps, his red color match. You either have to get the Target retail exclusives, what this card is, or you have to get his red parallels out of 5. And, you know, those don't surface. Those go for such a high premium that, you know, I think this is going to be a sought after card for collectors. You know, it's just a very sleek looking card. I think I'm just going to have this slabbed up regardless of how it looks, just because I think Trout's very collectible. That red foil gives it such a good shine on the card. I really like that card, and, you know, I think I picked it up for like $12. I think it's a good deal. Next, we have this Bowman Chrome Aaron Judge. You know, that blue sapphire kind of looking background that it has just goes really well with the Yankees uniform. I picked this up in a dollar bin. I think I paid $3 for this card. I don't know how it got in there, but yeah, I got this card for like $3, so I knew I had to take it. And, you know, Judge's stuff, he's probably the second hottest in the market behind Ohtani, you know, so yeah, this was just a no-brainer as to why I'm buying that. And this card, same thing, Schaefer Color Flow Allure out of 2026, red-orange, kind of a color match. You can see I like this. It denotes rookie card right here, so that might make it more valuable in the long run. Hockey is dominated by the young guns. You know, that's the player's most sought after and collected card. But, you know, for this to have rookie card on there, I think that's going to hold a lot of good value. Even Celebrini's did not say rookie card. This is a new edition, so I really like that. And I think this card might hold value greater in the long run, just because it has that rookie card on there, and that's what I'm going to take a gamble on. And the last card that I picked up, y'all are going to laugh at this one, but it is the Andres Satoria Topps Now World Baseball Classic. Y'all know this guy. He's the electrician, the plumber, whatever you want to call him, that struck out Ohtani. And, you know, I think with Ohtani being the greatest player, this card might have some crazy value for some collector for some odd reason that I'm just going to throw it in a submission. And, you know, there are no current copies of PSA of this card graded, but I'm going to take a chance on it just because of the lore that Andres Satoria has, throwing 80 miles an hour and striking out Shohei Ohtani. You never know what this card's going to do in the future. I don't know why I bought this card. I think this was just a impulsive buy maybe, who knows, but it was like $12. I saw it, and, you know, this is going to be his only card ever, and to commemorate that moment, you know, especially with the lore that he has striking out Ohtani, I'm going to give it a chance. You never know what this is going to do in a 10. I don't know if many people are going to grade this card. It might be a pop 1. I might get a huge price for this card. So that's why I bought it. And lastly, to recap the video and to end off this kind of mail day, currently showing y'all what I'm buying. Of course, I had to pick up an Ohtani rookie card. This was like $50. It's comping for, you know, $60, $70. So I thought it was a good price. Even if it's not gradable, people are going to pay upwards of 90% for any Ohtani. So reselling Ohtani copies should not be that hard. So let's see. They put this in a top loader of $2 for Wayne Gretzky. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, I think it's a cool card to pick up, of course. Shohei, you know, always looking to buy Shohei. His market's going nowhere. So yeah, that was the mail day. So thank y'all for joining in and watching this mail day. I'm going to try and do one of these, maybe bi-weekly, monthly, just show y'all what I'm buying, how I'm reinvesting into the business, what my submission profile and portfolio is looking like. I do specify, or I will specify that I focus in baseball. I am a former Division I baseball player, so you know, my background aligns with baseball a lot more. I have more knowledge on baseball, but I'm looking to expand to NFL. Maybe leave NBA alone. I don't know too much about NBA, but NFL has a very good market as well. So I just want to hear y'all's thoughts and comments of who are y'all buying right now? What do y'all see in the market? What are y'all doing during the shutdown? For me, I will state that I think that PSA will actually increase the price of value bulk. So given that it was at $25 per card and it had such a big backlog, I am actually forecasting that, you know, there will be an increase in price right there. I don't know if it's going to be to $30, $35, but what I think that does is it alleviates some of the bulk cards coming in, you know, some of the base like you can tell, there's so many base Con Knipple and Cooper Flag rookies coming in there, so it's going to make them more undesirable to send at that higher price range. So I'm looking to elevate the cards that I buy probably in the $30 range minimum for now, with a few exceptions. If you get a very great player to sneak through at a low cost, it's worth taking a chance on that, especially for how collectible they are. The main thing that I will say is that people buying slabs, whether it's a collector or a reseller, they're always looking to get the best deal. So if you can have that rare card that hasn't surfaced, you set the deal that they're buying. So you can you demand the prices a little bit better. It's a little more volatile, given that, you know, someone's going to have to come along and look for that card, but you can find very good margins on those cards that people don't think degrade. So that's kind of my thought process, is what I'm looking to grade right now is a mix of good players, cheaper cards, but still very desirable, very collectible, that eye appeal, that shine, that pop to them, that if a collector is looking to buy and stash away, you know, you're satisfying them.